so Chris Chan.
Still talking about him.
We are. We haven't talked about him for a minute. There's been a little break, but
and I think it was well needed because we're gonna talk about these terrible fucking comics today.
They are somehow these comics don't get better as he goes. Like you would think as you do something you would get better at it. That's not true.
So like the issues we're talking about, and maybe like the issue before it, is when his style starts to change, like more of an anime style, because like Chris loves Megan Schroeder.
Right.
So yeah. But other than that, like I don't know, Chris has definitely gotten better at drawing, I think.
He has certainly gotten better at drawing and or tracing. However, his storytelling has gotten
it's all over the place.
Wow. Like hard to follow. It's always hard to follow. This was extra fucking hard to follow.
We're in like the period of like Chris introducing story elements and then just forgetting that he did that, and it's gone forever, and he'll never mention it again. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have characters that are introduced where it's just like they're in one issue and that is it. Like they're never thought about again. Entire characters just.
And there are characters I feel like maybe my brain has shut out some of the issues before this. They were like, well, this isn't information you need to keep. This goes away. But I thought there were characters in this that just like show up with no explanation.
Oh, for sure there are. Yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't wrong.
No. So you just want to dive into this on issue 7?
Yeah. So we're on issue 7. This cover, buddy.
Yeah. A nice. Listen to this. I think this is one of the better Sonichu covers.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's some
Photoshop in it with these pictures of, like, it's a time loop, everybody. And there's pictures of Chris throughout the years. Now, keep in mind, this comic is called Sonichu.
Sonichu is nowhere to be found on the cover of this book.
No. We got Magic-chan. We got a little picture of Bionic the Hedgehog, one of your favorites.
Yeah.
Dude, we got Chris down there as like an equipment manager for the basketball team.
Yeah, down
by
the copyright. Yeah, see him down there.
Then we got up there is one of my favorite pictures of Chris blowing out his birthday cake.
That's a good one. We've got
Megan Schroeder literally like fucking cowering into herself.
Yeah.
Standing beside him.
No one has ever wanted to be in a picture less.
That's I like that she like told Chris, like, I think it's weird they put me in comics. I don't fucking like it. And he's like, no, I hear you and I understand. And now I'm going to put a real picture of you on the cover.
Right. So now people know exactly what you look like. It's kind of hidden in all these pictures, but down in the lower area by basketball manager Chris is like, I don't know, prom Chris? Tuxedo Chris?
He took his mom to prom.
Oh. Well, you got to dress up.
I didn't know that was a real thing people did. I always thought that was just a joke. Like, he took his mom to prom. What a loser. But, like, dude took his mom to prom.
Yeah, it was a joke until this. Like,
probably, honestly,
you know,
why it probably happened is because it is a joke in, like, television stuff. And that's how Chris gets, like, that's his window to how the world works, is, like, sitcoms and stuff. So he probably is like, I should take my mom.
And that is evident in this comic.
Yeah, dude. The cool thing about these on the Quickie is they give you the date that he started working on it and then the date that it was finished. And this one took, like, over a year and a half. It was started in early March 2007 and it was finished August 20th of 2008.
And the cover was drawn on my birthday.
That's what a good birthday present.
Yeah,
we're going to get you this.
Thanks, Chris.
Big old tapestry of this cover.
Just a wall size, like a Subway size poster. The Subway posters would be like my whole wall. Yeah.
Oh, shit, get out of here. You want to hear like real world news right now?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Chris Chan. Somebody tweeted that if Kevin Lyman doesn't bring Warped Tour back next summer, there's nothing for us emo kids to live for. Also, can I just real quick tell you how much I hate when people my age say emo kids, because we are in our 30s. So,
adults, yes, very much adults.
But Kevin Lyman liked that tweet and commented and said it might just be called something else. So it seems like he's like tired of not making money on the summer.
Yeah, well, that dude spent a lot of time finding ways to weasel $1 out of anyone between the ages of 14 and 40. So
Kevin Lyman sucks. Okay, so back to issue 7. So here's something different. On the first page with like what would be like your contents, right? Or what, I don't know what you would call it. It's that little Sonichu page where it's like, this is copyrighted by Christian Weston Chandler.
Yeah.
At the bottom, there's an asterisk. It says some characters' images in the issue were originally thought up or drawn by Megan Schroeder. And that's because people started giving him shit about how he's just stealing Megan's characters, like Megami the skunk, and like, which is like a thing Chris, like, that's an easy way to fuck with Chris. Like, there's a character coming later that is like another person's Sonichu OC, and he just stole it. And then when people gave him shit for it, he killed that character and then just made the another version of it, but a girl. It was like, well, that's his daughter. So like now it's mine. I did it now. And there's like a bunch of stuff he gets wrong on it, like he just misinterprets the design. But yeah, we'll get to that. So the first page is keep in mind. I remember this from last time. We're trying to find the Sonichu balls, right, to get Crystal, his sister, out of that mirror. And they went back in time to when Chris was in high school to get like one, and that's where Bionic the Hedgehog, Chris's first like ever Sonic OC, like meets up with them and like helps them get the crystal. The first thing Bionic says in this is like, Megan, I want to thank you for hooking me up with Magagi. Our first date was good, but we had a typo, first page. We had fun, and she called me for a second date. I'm happy because once again, if Chris can't get laid, every character he makes is gonna get laid.
All of them.
All of them.
Except for the Chris character even the Chris character eventually.
Not with Megan though, and that's part of the whole.
Well,
he basically like is saying he's in the friend zone on this first page. It's like, I like her a lot. She won't let me hold her. She will only let me hold her hand now and then is the direct quote.
Yeah, he's real up on Front Street with it at least. Like, hey, everybody.
If that's true, Megan's like a really sweet person for letting Chris like touch her and like hold her hand like sometimes, like once in a while.
Or she's just terrified.
Yes, it could be that. It could be she's completely horrified. So Magagi and Bionic, they love each other and they go off on their date.
Yeah, sure do.
Chris is really sad on the inside, and Megan cheers him up. Yeah,
she does. And the dialogue here is creepy. It's just.
He goes right into. She's like, "Why are you so sad, Chris?" And he's like, "Well, great." He writes these characters to go on a date and then get sad that they went on a date, and it's like,
yeah,
you wrote it because like it's kind of established in the comics that Chris is writing the comics. It's real weird. But he's like, them going on a date basically just reminded me that I'm a frustrated virgin.
And then Meg gets him on the next page to like not to like get back to the story basically.
Yeah.
And that whole thing is weird too. Like I don't understand how his brain works, Ed, of creating this story. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's because it doesn't make any sense. It's because he just steals like other cartoons and like comic ideas. Like, the 7 Sonichu crystals or Sonichu balls it's just Dragon Ball. Like,
well, yeah, no, that part I understand. I understand him hijacking stuff. I just don't understand like the narrative of like him and then him in the comic, but he's also the one drawing that. I'm overthinking it.
It's page 5 is really famous for what everybody says is the most unrealistic drawing of Chris ever.
The most unrealistic?
Yeah. Like, look how tall and, like, muscular and, like, in shape he is. It's wild.
Yeah.
And then later he's going to draw a fat version of Chris, but that's the most, like, that looks like Chris. Like, he did it, like, he just drew himself.
Yeah, it's later in this issue, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it for sure is. That's a very famous part. So yeah, Magic Chan is basically like, guys, you got to go find that crystal. Like, I can sense another one. You got to go get it. And he lets them know that it was approximately November 13th, 1996, during a scheduled basketball practice at 2:31 and 29 seconds p.m. The crystal bonked Kristen Weston Chandler on his head at the exact moment that locker slammed open in his imagination. None of this makes sense.
Nope. Not one bit. Like, not even a little.
No. So he goes on to, like, name drop Fear Street, which is cool, right? Fear Street books were all right.
I don't know what a Fear Street book
It's
is.
an R.L. Stein book. It's like Goosebumps, but for a little older people.
Oh, I was a little too older for those books, I think.
I went to when I was in third grade. This kid was like, R.L. Stein's my uncle, and then still I was like, even in third grade, I was like, that's a really fucking weird lie to.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
No one's gonna believe that. That's not even.
No, I also like that. So now I sort of understand where Bionic came from.
Yeah.
That someone hit Chris with a basketball.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, there could be a basketball Sonichu.
That's exactly it. And we find out that Chris did get hit with a basketball in high school, so he, like, made it a plot point in this. But he, like, you find out it wasn't a basketball, and it was actually one of the Sonichu balls. And, like, how neat is that? So, like, his future self hit his past self in the head with the Sonichu crystal ball. I can't. Are they balls or crystals at this point? Because he does retroactively go back and change it to crystals because everybody keeps making fun of him about trying to find Sonichu balls.
So I genuinely think, as I read through these, that it's referred to as both things during this, because I either have, like, screen captures from before he went back and fixed it mixed with the later ones, or he just didn't catch all of them when he went back and fixed it.
So he goes on to, like a Family Guy cutscene, which is, like, not only in, like, spirit of, like, oh, this has nothing to do with anything happening, but quite literally he draws Peter Griffin. And this is the most realistic drawing of Chris.
It is. It really does. It's real close to looking accurate. So much more than any other version that he's done. I also like that he's like, hey, Seth MacFarlane, here's an idea for a Family Guy sketch. Because Seth is obviously going to read this comic.
Dude, he makes a video later and, like, shows pictures from this. Like, Seth MacFarlane, please put this in Family Guy. This is really funny. Like, you don't even have to pay me. Just put it in there. So I guess, from what I've gathered is this has to do with a cartoon called The Ghostbusters from, like, the 70s.
Right, yeah,
and
the other Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's why the Ghostbusters cartoon, like, we had to be called The Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there's actually a lot to that. I talk about some of that on the episode for the movie Ghostbusters that I did with Justin Summers, but yeah.
It's in the archives.
Yeah. Go back and listen.
So he basically is like, I've got to take a shit, and then, like, falls through this machine that, like, makes him land in a, like, sentient car, and the car is like, oh, my axles. Because, get it? Because Peter Griffin's fat, but not Chris. Chris isn't fat. This is Peter Griffin. Not right. This is not Chris. And he said, this isn't the bathroom. That's the punchline.
Whoops.
So he does that thing again we've talked about where, like, the comic, he goes from, like, landscape mode to portrait mode, but doesn't change anything. You have to, like, turn your head to the side to read the panel. Like,
there's a lot of that in this like, these comics have so much more of that than there's been prior to this.
So Chris talks to Peter Griffin, like, and breaks the fourth wall, right? And he's like, go ahead and keep those clothes. And Peter Griffin, Chris is like, yeah, thanks. And these look nice, and I can't find clothes to fit me, you know, because I'm fat.
Well, I mean, Chris would know about the struggles of finding clothes to fit you when you're fat. He's bringing real life into his comic, Ed.
So it's just like I said, this is important for you to know. Chris thinks this is important for you to know. Real Chris says to Peter Griffin Chris when he's like, you can keep the clothes. He's like, sure, no problem. Sammy, we may need, calls him Sammy for some reason. It's clearly Peter Griffin. Sammy, we need you for a sketch in the future. It never happens. Anyway, your medal was not only built bigger than the original, while it was painted with illegal words on the back, it lacks the additional writings and symbols, so there's no mistaking your medal for mine.
Because in real life...
I wonder what happened that he was like, I need to really hammer that point home that he doesn't have like an actual medal and I have it. Like his is a fake medal.
Was this like during the time? Because I remember you told me about people making fake medals.
Okay.
So do you think that's this time period? Like
maybe, and like if I want to give him any credit and leeway on this, it might be because like the Sonichu medal is a plot device and he doesn't want to come up that there's two Sonichu medals. So he's just like, no, this one isn't real. I have, so just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That might be giving him too much credit, but yeah.
So yeah, they go back in time to get this ball, and you see one of Chris's gal pals.
You do.
Which one is it? Oh, it's Kelly. This is Kelly.
Because she has things with her name written on them right in front of her, so you know, yeah.
And a class of 2000 yearbook, even though the year isn't over. It's
so, dude, when they're like blue ball sphere thing that takes them back through time shoots off, did it shit on the floor?
I think that's supposed to be a shadow. Chris is really bad at shadows. Look under the Sonichu and Chris in the blue ball. Like look at the shadow under him.
Yeah. I hadn't even noticed. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Chris's gal pal freaks out because, oh my God, it's Chris. But like, it's probably Chris but older, I'm assuming is why she's freaking out. These are written so badly.
But also, didn't they just say that when they're inside that blue ball, nobody can see them?
Yeah. This is fucking terrible. We get to close it out, though, this episode 15, with a good PlayStation 3 ad for Chris's Adult Chronicles.
I think this whole comic turns into Adult Chronicles here not too long.
Don't worry, though, if you get it and you're like, there's not enough stuff on this. There's additional downloadable content will soon be available through the PlayStation Network. Custom Quick and Sonichu character add-ons for Soul Calibur 4 available soon.
You know everybody was waiting.
Do you notice that this game doesn't come out on Xbox?
I do. He hates Xbox. It comes out on PlayStation 2, but it doesn't come out on Xbox.
Have I talked about before that like Chris is so brand loyal to PlayStation that he would buy downloadable content to games he didn't own so PlayStation would quote like win the console war?
Yeah, you've mentioned
fucking
that.
Wild.
That's dedication, man. Showing Sony that love.
So episode 16 starts and it's they're the time hogs. They're going through time, the time hogs. Magic-chan, Sonichu, and Chris-chan.
Lots of dates.
Y2K scare. Do you see that one? January 1st, 2000. September 11th, 2001, right after it.
Yep. There's Bender for no reason.
Now, keep in mind, though, if you would put a Sonichu character in your comic, you're stealing from Chris.
For sure. But Bender, that's public domain. Matt Groening doesn't care about that.
So, on page 20, Chris starts to explain time travel, which, like, here's how I've often pondered and observed the idea of time travel. And it's like, oh man, this can't be good. No. And he tells you to go back and see sub episodes 7 and 8 to like read context for the mishap quote at Target where that security guard like fucking beat him up, like threw him down and like detained him.
Yeah. And then he references Futurama.
Yeah. It's basically like Chris's thing with time travel is more or less like Fry's own grandpa, and that's what I know about time travel.
Right.
And then Magic Chan's in the back.
That's his pondering and research as he watched Futurama episodes.
And Fry's his own grandpa, so that's how he knows. That's it. That's time travel.
He did the nasty and the pasty.
And then he also once again name drops like that he thinks Meg Griffin is so hot.
He has a huge obsession with Meg Griffin.
He does. And it's the thing people use to fuck with him, and they'll be like, Chris, you fucking pervert. Meg Griffin is 16. And he's like, no, the Meg Griffin in the Sonichu universe is 18.
Because everyone is, so they can fuck. See, I thought it was more of like I can't have Megan Schroeder, so I'll have Meg Griffin kind of thing.
No, he's always really loved Meg Griffin and like has talked to like around this time would like go on rants about like I don't know why they're so mean to her on Family Guy. Like, it's like Chris, that's the point of the character. That's it. It's just no, because Meg Griffin's so beautiful and so like.
Hey man, different strokes for different folks, I guess.
We also find out that Magic Chan thinks in binary code.
Oh, okay. So that binary code thing, I don't think that's what that's supposed to be. You're not a Futurama fan, huh?
I watched it on Adult Swim. It's nothing like I obsessed over though.
So this would be around the time that one of the Futurama movies has a thing where Bender keeps going back in time over and over and over again. And it's a binary code that was tattooed on Fry's ass in the shape of Bender.
Okay.
As a tattoo made out of binary code. And so Bender, to travel through time, just says like 110010110011, and then he'll fucking fly back through time.
Like the Clutch song.
Yeah. So it's only with time travel. Yeah.
Do you think that's what they were trying to do, Clutch, when they wrote that? 100011101001.
No, I don't think they were trying to time travel.
Dude,
I think they were trying to make money.
Jess, the girlfriend, has said multiple times, she's like, nobody listens to Clutch. And I was just like, dude, literally where I come from, so many people listen to Clutch. They're like really popular here. Like,
oh yeah, she's super wrong. Like I've listened to Clutch since like 1994. Yeah, she's way wrong. She knows people who listen to Clutch actively. Yeah.
They were on Viva La Bam.
They were. He was a fan.
So Magic Chan is putting all his focus into keeping that blue time travel orb.
He is. He's trying real hard. Page 22 has a thing on it that stood out to me a lot.
Yeah.
So we've got age 26 Chris and we've got age 14 Chris, right?
Right beside each other. Yep.
Doing the comparison, giving you the breakdown, right? Like,
also, here, this is the thing. They've already come through the gym because Kelly reacted to them.
Correct.
Why are they now also just coming into the gym again?
You raise a very good point.
I also like that, like, Chris, as a 26-year-old man, still can't admit that he was just a water boy. And he's like, another day of managing the varsity basketball team in my freshman year. A normal sentence. Everyone is set. Like, that's how people talk. Dude, this is like George Lucas level of dialogue. You know what I mean? No one would ever say that sentence, ever.
Never.
Just another day of managing. Like, I'm going to walk into work tomorrow and be like, just another day of doing work at the place that I work. And I'm 33 years old. It's like, dude, they're gonna be like, Ed, can you go home? Like, you gotta go home. You're scaring people.
33 years old with a girlfriend. I will be at work today, where I always am. But my favorite line in this is, and he's clearly referencing age 14 Chris, where he's like naive about dating during young adult years. And it's like, Chris, you are naive about dating now.
Wow. As an adult. It's a 26-year-old man. Also, I love that he's like 5'10". Sigh. It's like, yeah, Chris, you're not even 6 foot, you piece of shit. Also, he remembers that he got his glasses in 1998 on Groundhog's Day. Like, his when people are like, Chris is stupid, it's like, I don't think Chris is stupid. Like, that is... Who would remember? Like, his memory is obviously really good with stuff. Like, who would remember I got glasses on Groundhog's Day in 1998?
An autistic dude.
I guess, man. Like,
I
so
think
also,
that has to play into it. You know what I mean? Because, like,
yeah.
I don't... Groundhog Day, I mean, yeah, it's like a holiday, but unless you're Bill Murray and you're living it like 5,000 times again and again, you're not going to remember Groundhog Day for shit. Like, it's not a reference point.
So Chris meets up with Joe Herring. He's 16, and he's also a quote, fellow varsity manager. He's just a water boy.
And they have an absolutely normal conversation, too.
So here's the thing, though. People have gone back in Chris's yearbook and looked up Joe Herring. He doesn't have acne. So Chris just drew this kid with acne so he'd be worse looking than him.
Did he wear, like, cut-off sleeve shirts?
I don't think so. I don't know, man. I know he definitely didn't have acne. But yeah, he's leaning on a wall like a cool dude, and he's like, just fill the water bottles for the team. So I'm just chilling until practice is over. Well, just go home, dude. Like, you don't gotta wait. You're not even playing. You don't play. You did your one job. You can head out. I'm sure the coach will be all right with it.
You're good. I'm sure you got homework.
So Joe is like admittedly who like Chris learned about like girls from, but also like girls didn't really like him. So like, but like in Chris's brain, he's like, yeah, he's like Joe's a ladies' man.
Because he apparently went on a very bad date from a sitcom.
That's right. Yeah, the waiter spilled the soup and tossed the salad.
Which has a totally different meaning for current Chris.
Yeah.
What
Sex
it would
obsessed
have.
Chris would fucking... This would be... Yeah, he'd definitely have something drawn right here. Well, yeah, but Chris reminds him that there's a lot of cute girls here, like Laura Beth DeRosio, just doxing a person. Just doxing a person who went to school with him.
She was a cheerleader. You should look her up.
This girl was like a girl that was like nice to Chris. And so Chris was like in love with her.
Oh, a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
Girl
man.
is nice to Chris. Chris reads it the wrong way.
Yeah. But he's going to chill with Joe. Don't worry. They're just going to chill. They're just cool dudes chilling.
Because they're like the three musketeers, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. There's two of them, and those three weren't the musketeers. But I mean, outside of that, that's accurate.
I hope he means it as a joke. I hope it's just a bad joke.
Maybe. It's hard to tell when jokes happen in these comics, I'll be honest.
It is, because Chris is completely devoid of humor.
At least intentional humor.
Yeah, so you have to, like, really think about... Yeah, he lets him know, I'll just be reading R.L. Stine here. Like, this conversation is it worse than Padme and Anakin? Worst dialogue. Because that's my go-to for, like, the worst dialogue ever. Is Padme and Anakin in those movies don't talk like any real human being ever.
Well, but they're not human beings, Ed.
So, okay.
Yeah, no, the dialogue in those movies is terrible. Man, it's close. This could be... This might be worse.
So, 14-year-old Chris starts reading his little Fear Street book, and then somehow 26-year-old Chris, who just developed psychic powers and can read 14-year-old Chris's thoughts, and is like, oh yeah, he's putting Sonic the Hedgehog characters in places for the characters. That's what I used to do. It's like...
If that's a real thing he did, that's really fucking weird. Here's an established thing that I'm reading for the first time. Let me replace all of these characters with shit I made up.
Yeah, he says he had to train his brain to remember what he looked like from a mirror to be able to, like, put himself in the lead role of these books he's reading.
Which is also a fucking insane statement to make. Nonetheless, put in a book you're going to give away to people for free.
Yeah, it's... So, yeah, the basketball gets thrown in this, and then a fucking crystal, and...
Yep.
And this is when Chris develops Bionic the Hedgehog, because he got hit with that basketball. I'm going to dub you Bionic the Hedgehog, and I dub thee to be Sonic's long-lost brother. Do you want to talk about the next page?
Beavis and Butthead?
Just slamming locker doors for no reason.
Yeah, and he at least he references what exact episode of Beavis and Butthead he stole this from. And apologizes to Mike Judge. Mike, I know you got a copy. I know you picked up a copy of Sonichu.
So from there, they get back in that little blue gimmick, and, they got the crystal. So fucking great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I know you probably don't know this, because it's hard to figure out, Stacy, Chris gets thrown from it and then is stuck inside of a time loop.
So I figured that out eventually.
Yeah.
But I did not figure it out from these 2 pages.
Do you want to know why Chris gets stuck in a time loop?
Sure. No, I would love to know.
Because everyone starts fucking with Chris and being like, why are you in this fucking comic so much? It's called Sonichu. Like, and it's like he takes the criticism to heart and is like, all right, yeah, I'll just write myself out. But he's back. Don't worry. He's out of like maybe an issue or 2, and then he's instantly back, and like it's more about him than it's ever been.
So this next page that tries to explain what the fuck just happened on the last page.
Yeah.
And then the page after that, partially with the page after that, maybe I have a note that just says, is this whole fucking book about fucking now?
Yes.
Like, everything is about, like, I have a date with this person, and I'm with this person, and we're with these 2 are together, and these 2 are a couple. Like, this whole book is now just about fucking.
But it kind of always has been. Just, like, there's other things that happen besides fucking, but, like, this is getting right to fucking. Like.
Yeah, right to it.
Sonichu and Rosechu are so upset that Chris is lost in this time loop that they fuck. That's what...
Yeah. I mean, how else would you deal with it? How else would you deal with the loss of your father and creator than, I really feel like we should probably fuck.
Yeah, they're just sitting here talking about how sad they are, and then they were like, sweet Bolt, hold me. and he fucking does. And then let's go back to our place and do our thing.
He calls a condom a raincoat.
Yeah, dude. You could tell like Chris definitely has old people parents. A raincoat.
Getting them at Walmart too, where you buy them in bulk, right? Like not like just stop by the gas station or whatever.
Yeah.
Walmart, stock up. You're gonna need them.
So we go back to the Private Villa of Corrupted Citizens, the PVCC, which I will give Chris for. That is a really clever acronym. Like you hate your college, so they're gonna be the bad guys, and having to make an acronym to like sounds evil. I think he did a pretty all right job.
He did. It's one of the few things that was done well. And it's a rogues gallery that he has here, man.
My God, it's all of the people that like from the previous comics that were like out to get Chris.
We've got Bondage Chris. We've got Dr. Robotnik.
If you go back a page though, them all sitting there at that table definitely just looks like a throne. Right? So it just looks like somebody's waiting to sit in a chair, like the chair's gonna turn around, but like no, that's a bunch of people sitting at a table.
I had no idea. I thought it was a chair.
Yeah. So Chris goes on to explain who's in the council table, and it's Scott Palazzo, who was the manager of the mall that banned him.
Yeah.
And he says that he banned all virgins from his region. There's also the chef from the cafeteria at the PVCC, the managers from like McDonald's and Target, Nate Cirque. Now, Nate Cirque, remember, Chris with the opposite. It's not gay Chris, it's Chris who gave into his gayness.
Right.
It's Baggett, who's like a jerk cop, and a jerkeef. So these are the 2 guys that like kicked him on a Target.
Yup.
Then we have the turd jerk.
who is apparently the manager of Guitar. Is that Guitar Center?
Guitar Center, I think so. Wes Isley, who is the girl or the guy that married the girl that Chris is friends with when he was a kid. That's why he's evil. Then Dr. Robotnik.
How dare he marry someone?
Yeah. Dr. Robotnik, Giovanni, and then Jason Howe, who made the Encyclopedia Dramatica page, and his
woman slave.
His woman slave who cries tears of blood.
and Jason is like some hooded menace. Like
yeah. So yeah, it says Jason, new villain. That is Jason Howe, who is admittedly like told Chris is like, no, I'm the guy that made the ED page. He's like, well, take it down. He's like, no. Like, I think it's really funny that it upsets you this much. Like, he's very forthright about what he was doing. So like all Chris had to do is not sell it. Couldn't do it. Like, but Mary Lee Walsh is still the head of the PVCC, and Count Graduan, who, as we talked about before, is the physical representation of high school graduation, the worst thing to ever happen in Chris's life.
Right.
So now they're all plotting because they're like, Chris is in the time void, and now it's their time to attack.
And man, the stuff that comes to Chris in the time void.
Oh, it's literally like all of the things that he's fucked up with that people give him shit about. Like, so it's like the Megan hentai that he drew, and like Joshua pretending to be Vanessa Hudgens.
They only chatted on the web, Ed. He never met her.
Yeah, the hedgehog fighting countless enemies. So it's like it's a mixture of like real life things that happen, but also things from the comic, which is just weird. It's the continuity on this thing. Like I know I should lower my standards, and it's not like I'm shocked by it, but it just sucks.
It
Megan
does.
dumping me, and it's like she wasn't ever with you.
Yeah, he's still stuck on that. That was one of my notes. I was like, Megan dumping him. She was never dating you, sir.
She dumped me. He's like, there's this part, like, it shows you that Chris isn't sorry about what he did. He's mad at Megan about it still. He's like, a drawing of me and Megan intimate, and I drew that, and she dumped me over that.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, Chris. But now we get.
Oh yeah, now we get to K Quick.
Yeah.
Like Ron Killings.
This might be the weirdest thing that's happened in one of these comics, and it weirded me out for one very specific reason.
Yeah, why? Because this is my favorite Sonichu character, just so you know.
Yeah?
DJ Jamps to Sonichu is the best, because it's Chris's idea of like a cool person.
I didn't put that together, but you're absolutely
perfect.
right.
Listen to this dialogue. Hey there, all you guys, gals, and dudes and dudettes of all ages. Y'all are rocking and keeping it real at the station K Quick with yours truly, Jamsta Sonichu, DJ of every hour with the power. So yeah, this is what Chris thinks a cool person would talk like. It's fucking perfect. I love it. And this whole thing is to introduce Jigglyami.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was created by someone who's not real.
Correct. It was created by Blanca Weiss, who we've talked about, Chris's first sweetheart.
Right.
So this was like the plan they had. It was like, we're going to get Chris to introduce this stupid fucking character in his comic because Blanca's going to tell him that I want to see Jigglyami. Who's like it's a Jigglypuff with like a human body.
Yeah.
And it sings.
Yeah, it does. So on page 44, partway through this whole radio station thing, there's a reference in here that I am shocked. I don't know how Chris knows about this, but Max's Kansas City?
What's that?
Oh, you don't know what Max's Kansas City is?
No.
All right, so you know what CBGB is, right?
Yeah.
So Max's Kansas City was like CBGB, but it dates back far. Like, so there was like 60s shit at Max's Kansas City, and like the original glam stuff all went through Max's Kansas City, and then it closed for a minute, and then it reopened in like 75, and like every punk band played there, man. Every punk band played there. And at one point, like Debbie Harry was like a waitress there, like before like punk started being there, like in the early days, in the glam days, she was a waitress there. But like the Ramones played there. And then like even towards the end, like the last show that ever happened at Max's Kansas City was Bad Brains with Beastie Boys opening.
Oh.
When Beastie Boys were a punk band. Like it's Max's Kansas City is not shit that Chris Chan should
how
know
does he think about this? Huh.
I
Somebody
read
had
that.
to feed him that line for sure.
Yeah.
That has to be a troll.
There's no fucking way. I refuse to believe that Chris Chan knew about Max's Kansas City unless he saw some kind of weird documentary he shouldn't have.
So from there, the other DJ is like, quit looking at their tits, DJ Jamsta. It's Lolisa Rosechew, the other co-host.
Yeah, who he really like talks down to the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Just because he hates women.
Yeah.
He hates men a lot, but he also hates women. From here, we get a little interview with Robert Simmons, who we talked about.
Yeah.
He's told him, I'll put you in the comic, and fucking, hey, he did it.
He sure fucking did. Is this before or after the in-person visit?
This is after, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
So Robert Simmons talks about how him and Chris are both lonely virgins, and he smells good, because that's what the Rosie says. I could tell you smell good, and you and he look almost identical, and I personally know that Chris is cute, caring, and a good man who will put his closest friends first.
And his closest friend is a troll.
It's definitely. What a fucking pointless thing to draw. Like, all of that.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Boston's More Than a Feeling is what's going to get played at the end, though. That's
because if you're going to play the hits, you're going to play some Boston.
And at the end, we get like a big blown up picture of Chris Chan's Adult Chronicles video game.
Yeah, which apparently in Adult Chronicles, there's just trash everywhere. And
yeah, I love that he kept it realistic and made his lawn full of trash. This comic sucks.
It does. I mean, but is that like a surprise? Like they all suck. They all suck.
Issue 8 sucks more, though. It's a beach episode. So
issue 8's cover, man, is one of the most uncomfortable. Like, there's no like weird sex acts or anything going on in it, but it's like an uncomfortable picture to look at.
It's like so. Episode 17 is Rage Against the Garbage.
Another reference I'm really surprised about.
Me too. I cannot believe it. On the cover, we got everyone in bikinis with their titties, because Chris loves titties. In China. So episode 17 has a prologue in it.
It does.
It has a whole map where you learn that like how far away things are from each other in Quiggville. It's important for you to know that it takes 1/4 mile from the mini marts to the subdivision areas, and that is 2 miles from the Quiggville Mall.
And thank God he took those drafting classes, Ed.
That's right. He's finally using his college degree. We also, because they're gonna fuck. Sonichu is 19 and Rosechew turned 18 in December, so they've been living together in a cozy single-story house, fully paid for from Quiggville funds. So they're living off government housing.
And they are fucking. This is just fun. The whole thing is just fucking.
Yeah, they're looking. Rosechew here, the story is she's looking at some stuff.
Oh, hold on. So that whole part,
yeah.
Maybe I didn't look like. So does this comic start with page 1, or does it start with all of this fucking weird sex shit that's before it?
It starts with page 1 for sure, because you have to know where their house is.
Okay, so where do pages B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I come into this?
Which one are you looking at? Because I am on the Sonichu site.
I am on archive.org, Sonichu Complete.
Oh, okay. So what are you looking at? I gotta find this because I just looked off the quickie and went to the Sonichu site. Yeah,
So
no, I did too. Maybe I'm on the unedited version, or maybe I'm on the edited version. Is this the one where they explain the hedgehog genitals?
I don't know. Now mine's different. What the fuck happened?
Dude, we've said it a million times. Every time we do a comic show, that like this is the most inconvenient way to read this. Like how they never come up with a better way to put these on here. Like,
Okay, so now I'm back to the one with all the pervert shit.
yeah, what is it? I'm sure I've seen it. It's just
So it starts with Sonichu in bed, and he's gotten nice and clean, and it's a good thing they stopped for a pack of condoms, so it won't break on his 7-incher.
Jesus.
And then so Rosa Chu is like, well, I'm itching for a little missionary cowgirl. Do you think you can handle it?
Oh my God.
He's talking about inserting rod A into slot B. And let us pause for a moment to zoom in on how intercourse as well as their parts work for our electric hedgehogs.
Okay. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you learn about the reproductive system of hedgehogs.
You sure do. You sure do. In detail for a couple of pages that is just text with a few small drawings. He's pretty back and forth with the use of penis or dick or phallus. He'll just call it whatever he feels like. He's also pretty convinced that there are bones in a penis. There are not, Chris. That's not how this shit works. He's talking about how you can get condoms at most grocery stores, gas stations, superstores like Walmart. Condoms, aka raincoats. When used properly to cover his dick, a condom will prevent the sperm cells from entering her vagina. I mean, he's not wrong there.
He's factually correct.
Yeah. You can't
Missionary
buy them all
cowgirl
those
though
places.
isn't real. That's not a.
No, it's not. But these drawings of these two fucking characters 69ing, and there's like one with like a orange condom that is like way bigger than his dick is, going into what I'm assuming is a vagina. This is, I said the shit about the cover of this being very disturbing. Fuck that. This is very disturbing.
Dude, and he was just fucking cranking it when he was drawing. You know what I mean? Like,
and
for
so,
sure was.
I want you to be able to see page I. I really want you to be able to see page I. I am like fucking 99% sure he drew Sonichu with a giant herpy on his face.
Man, where's the unedited one?
I think if you just go to like Sonichu complete.
Okay.
Like if you stop it there, you should be able to select 8.
Sonichu complete. Christine Weston Chandler, archive.org. Yep, there we go. Issue 8.
And now it's going to start you with the cover, but you've got to click backwards.
Oh, I got to click backwards. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. He just basically draws hentai with Sonichu and Rosechu. I'm telling you, dude, it's not a herpy. He fucking was so gross. I don't even want to say it. He smeared it. Like, He smeared the marker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, considering everything else he drew in the pages coming up to this, including like what looks to be the interior view of her vagina. Oh no, that's a mouth. But in the last frame, it sort of looks like a toilet. Yeah.
When we started this, did you think we were going to be talking about like, well, Chris accidentally got cum on his hand probably and smeared his drawing?
No, I did not. Not once.
So, what we go from there into like their bedroom post coitus, and they find 4 cent garbage, and it's It's basically pictures that like people drew of like Rose Chu with a dick and like stuff like these fan drawings. Chris would get to fuck with them, and because Sonichu's a complete idiot. Like this is Sonichu is so fucking stupid. Sonichu is like, how did they get these? Did they like sneak in a camera in here and take peep shots of us? And she's like, no, people drew them. Sonichu, you fucking dope. Like,
but they're so lifelike.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, so he shows them Rose Chu with a dick, and Sonichu pukes. So they're gonna go to 4-cent garbage and tell them to take these down, but at the same time, Rose Chu is like, those drawings of me naked aren't even that good, and I can take way better naked pictures than that for feminism. So Chris draws more naked pictures of Rose Chu. I can't believe this sentence is gonna happen. Look at Rose Chu's vagina in that bottom picture on 5B. It's so fucking weird. How did he, like, for a second when he's drawing these, he's not like, oh, this is fucking weird. Like, it never.
It's so fucked. It's all so fucked up.
He also, like, Rose Chu, after she takes her naked pictures and says she's going to post them up online, is like, I should ask Bubbles and Angelica Rose Chu for their assistance, which is, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
Dude, I like back on page 4 that the picture that they were looking at on that website is her with, like, a banana superimposed over her. Like, not even a dick. Like, he obviously has no problems with drawing fucking shit, but he's like, then I'll put a banana there.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to see Rose Chu with the dick. It makes him like violently ill, like Sonichu. Like, so Sonichu can't even go fight for his girlfriend because he's so disgusted by this that it takes everything out of him, and she like carries him into bed and is like, "Oh, my sweet bolt, just get rest." Like. So after that, they go to the 4-cent garbage building with Sonichu, Rose Chu, and Wild Sonichu. And,
yeah, he's just there now.
Yeah, they're gonna. So here's the thing. I'm sure you have no idea what the fuck is going on here. They're like, oh, who runs this? He's like, his name is Jason, and like Chris, because he thinks it's subtle. It's Jason Howe. That's the guy's name. So he puts like the Howes from.
Okay.
Gilligan's Island down in the corner is like a knowing wink, like that's his last name, guys. Like, go troll him.
Oh, that makes way more sense now.
That's
because
why he says, guess Jason's last name now. It's Jason Howe.
Okay. Because I was like, oh, Gilligan's Island, fucking topical reference, Chris. Yeah.
So, Wild Sonichu goes on to just basically talk about, like, his entire backstory, which is, like, we already did that. We already know it. It's the same one as every other, like, you're a fucking egg that got found by a Pokemon. You all have the same backstory. Like,
there was a whole part of a whole issue earlier that was about this very thing.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, we're going to go in the 4-cent garbage building. We're going to take this son of a bitch down. Wild Sonichu can turn invisible, so that's why they brought him there. Also, I think at this point they know that there's a Sonichu crystal in the 4-cent garbage building.
But they haven't said that.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
I don't know, man. They might have. I mean, all the porno kind of overshadowed any kind of plot that might have been here before.
So you find out that the secretary or the receptionist or whatever at the 4-cent garbage building is literally Satan.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's like, well, how do we get to the 4-cent? We need to talk to Jason. He's like, he's on floor 66 plus 6. It's like, even Sonichu, though, is like, you mean the 72nd floor? He's like, yeah. Which is kind of a funny joke. I'll give that to Chris. Like,
Right.
You mean 72nd? Yeah, it's that's fine. So so she's like, he's so rude, he didn't even make eye contact. It's Satan.
I can't believe Satan was rude.
Yeah, but Rose Chu remembers, like, is like, Sonichu, just remember the story of Joseph and forgiveness, all right? Like, I know we just fucked.
Yeah. There's
a very
nothing
graphic sex scene, but let me drop this Bible reference.
There's nothing that goes with pornography like Jesus.
So, while Sonichu turns invisible,
It does.
and, he's going through the building, man, invisible boy. So then here they go through the floors, right? And they stop at every one for some reason instead of just going to the 76th floor. And you find, like, this is Chris hates alcohol, right? So the third floor is like them being like, oh, I'm hungover from drinking last night. And, let's drink more beer while we're working.
Also, I will give Chris, it's not often in his misunderstanding of how comics work that I will give Chris any kind of credit. In this case, I understand what he was shooting for, and I appreciate that there's the descriptor at the top that was like, you have to read from the bottom to the top for the next few pages, because that's not how comics work.
But that's how an elevator works.
Correct. I totally get what's going on here.
So you get why the mistake was made. Is what you're saying. Yeah.
Also, shit's wild on the 4th floor.
Yeah, we passed Pedo Bear.
Yeah.
On the 3rd floor.
That's the 4th floor.
Yeah. Pedo Bear.
That's a character that doesn't really get an explanation, but he's here.
He just assumes you know who Pedo Bear is. So, this is, and then on the 10th floor, they're looking at a picture of Chris drinking from a really, really giant straw. Which is like one of the original, like, fan drawings that would fuck with Chris, is like, they would make fun of this one drawing he did where he's drinking from a straw, and it's just like, the straw's fucking huge.
I love
and
it.
Chris pops out of the time void for 1 second to punch the dude that made it. Like, he's like, that was a beverage cup from a Target cafe.
I also like that in this now, like, he's just lifting art from other places and superimposing it.
Yeah.
Like, there's real hentai. There's like a weird serpent unicorn thing with a coin slot for a vagina. This is all just, there's Sonic the Hedgehog porn.
There's
Yu-Gi-Oh
art,
porn.
There's literal Renaissance art down in the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like, so in Chris's mind, that's like the same as hentai, I guess. I don't know.
Like, where did he steal all this art from? I'm guessing just the internet. Like,
for sure.
He just looked some shit up and was like, oh yeah, I can steal all of this. Don't steal my shit.
So on page 19C, because he took this out, is Obama painting the White House black. And he thought, like, this is a joke that his dad came up with that he just thought was really funny. Like,
yeah, because his dad was, an old racist man.
Yeah, like, Chris didn't realize it was racist. He thought it was just a funny joke.
Yeah. He drew in people who have nothing to do with this shit either, like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
That tells you if somebody's like a weird racist, if they're just like obsessed with Hillary Clinton.
So we go on. We have more hentai from cartoons.
Marge Simpson.
It's so weird. He has Dot from Animaniacs, but she's like 7. But he doesn't feel the need to be like, well, this Dot in my universe is actually 19.
He's got like weird gangster knuckles.
On the 71st floor is an Xbox chopped in half for some reason, and he's like really happy about it.
Yeah, kill that hex box. But on the 69th floor, there's a female interpretation of an Xbox.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, Pedo Bear was there again.
Again. We got the second Pedo Bear joke within 4 pages.
Yeah.
So Wild Sonichu is sneaking through to like find the Sonichu crystal, I'm pretty sure.
To the
And
Pink Panther theme.
I like that he even knows that it's Henry Mancini's Pink Panther theme. Like,
I'm sure he learned that from his racist dad.
he for sure did. So yeah, Wild Sonichu gets the crystal, and Rosechu and Sonichu meet up with Jason Howe. He's doing a Nazi salute.
He is?
So Jason Howe is like, yeah, I'm Jason Kendrick Howell. I'm a 20-year-old troll who offers only slanderous mockeries, and this is my minery 17-year-old woman, Kathleen Nicole Wallace. Like, everything I do with this woman is absolutely illegal within these 50 states.
There's a lot to take in on this page, really.
It really is. I love that he is flat out like, look, this evil man is just like, yeah, dude, I'm a pedophile and I'm evil. Like, it's no subtlety.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, so they're like, he's basically like, what do you want? And she's just like, my loving, caring sweetheart and I have come to discuss the webpage in question. We humbly request that we be removed from the internet for good. And standing in front of an American fucking flag, he gives this speech.
Hey, and I will say this. He did a way better job with this flag than I would have ever expected.
Yeah.
There are a correct number of stripes, and there are assumed a correct number of stars. It's really surprising.
So Sonichu says, for you are not just dragging Kristen Weston Chandler's name in the mud. You also drag the American hopes and dreams and the ideas of the majority of these great, humble United States of America along with them. You have had your laughs, but ask yourself, is it really worth it to continue on with these slanders that drags the names of the good people within this country that was founded with love and peace within it, that those before us have fought violently to withhold? That is how I was born and raised, under the old glory. That is the red, white, and blue. So Chris is saying, if you make fun of me, you're making fun of every American, and you're making fun of America.
Mister.
It's so fucking good.
And on the next page, it keeps going, where he's like, my humble answer is I say nay.
What is your answer, Mr. Howell? And he says, basically, it's right. He's like, I'd say you're a sap. I don't know.
I like that he just has one eye, too. Like, the other one's all shadowy and back in the cloak.
It's a nice artistic choice. So then he's like, basically, it's like, yeah, I'm not taking down the fucking thing. I love it. It's tormenting you, and it's great. Like, I love it. And Sonichu gets, like, orange fire eyes. And this right here.
His eyes turn into flaming avocados. It's fucking amazing.
It is literally, like, the... So Chris starts selling medallions eventually, right?
Uh-huh.
And someone buys one off eBay, and he is flat out like, I've got 20 orders for medallions, and I can probably only make one every 2 weeks. It's just so hard. It takes so much time to make these fucking clay medallions. So some guy bought one. It was months. He didn't get it, so he filed a claim. And Chris is like, writes him an email. It's like, take that fucking claim down. You're ruining my life. You're going to get your medallion. It just takes a while. And so the guy files another claim because he's like, fuck you.
Right.
So then Chris is like, if you file that claim against me, I'm going to go tell the like West Virginia Pride chapter or whatever. Like, it's basically him saying like, I'm going to tell them that you're tormenting a lesbian in a man's body as a transgender. It's like this whole thing where he's basically like, because you're filing these claims, you hate trans people and lesbians, and I'm going to fucking tell them that you're harassing me.
So this clearly happens at a different time than this comic.
Yeah. This is after Chris is like in his Tom girl phase, kind of, and he's like having gender identity issues.
Okay.
But yeah, Chris is like, basically tells this dude, I'm going to like make it look like you're a giant homophobe for filing these claims. So Chris doxes the dude, puts out his full name, phone number, and it's like, everyone call this guy. And this guy's like just getting calls off the fucking like, and like emails Chris back. And I think the direct quote is, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, So he files another claim, and eBay is like, get them what this guy ordered, or we are going to shut your whole store down. So he sends a medallion, and because Chris is pissed off, it's this medallion, it's this face with like the fire eyes and the mean face. And so the guy like thinks it's funny that he got this right, and like the certificate of authentication is like all smudged and like fucked up because Chris is pissed off, and so Chris like emails them, or he emails Chris and is like, "Hey Chris, I think you must have sent me the wrong medallion, because this one isn't one I ordered." And Chris is like, "No, fuck you, I sent you that one because you pissed me off." And so the guy files another claim. It's like, this is not what I ordered. You just sent me a thing that I did not order, so Chris had to make another medallion and send it to him.
That's so good.
So, this Sonichu starts fighting Jason Kendrick Kyle, but Jason Kendrick Kyle is like, nah, fuck you little dork, and like, kicks his ass.
Yeah.
So Rosechu gets him, and it's like, my angel was right on time to catch me. Like, and it's like, let's just leave, Sonichu. There's no reasoning with him. So on their way out, she's like, Jason, I was like, don't forget it's like, go play with your pickle, and it hits her in the back of the head with a pickle. This enrages Rosechu to the point where she turns into this hulking monster. It like rips her clothes off, and it is like this naked, fucking crazy monster that is like, I am woman, and like, respect my vagina and my uterus. It's so good. I gotta read it. This is like some of the best Chris dialogue ever. I am the power. I am the warrior. I am the almighty woman. True to all of my gender, I'll overpower any evil or good man who defies us and makes him succumb to our will. I have the almighty uterus that makes me strong and super powerful enough to protect the loved ones within me until they emerge for their glorious birth. By my ferocious will, I shall punish he who has defiled my people with the worst of unnatural additions ever by this one's heinous hand, which is a dick. That's what it means, a dick. So, like, Rosechu jumps at Jason Kendrick Kyle and, like, wraps his fucking face in his critter crotch. And she, like, breaks his neck. And he's flat out, it's like, I should be dead, but dark forces keep me alive. What a show.
Oh.
So, from there, she's just like, yeah, I got really angry, transformed into some monster. It took over me.
So, my favorite part about this scene, this whole naked, face-sitting, head-ripping scene, is that the lead-in is forgiveness, just like Joseph taught us.
Yeah.
Man, there is a lot of religious content in this comic for a comic about fucking.
What's lost in all this is that Wild Sonichu gets the crystal out. Like, that's so secondary to everything that just happened.
The main plot line of this whole thing for, like, issues is secondary to the face-sitting head ripping.
So, Magic Chan Sonichu is like, hey, did you get the crystal? He's like, yeah. And he's like, all right. He's like, but we didn't get them to take down the webpage. And he's like, all right, I'll try to report you back here. From there, we go on to the epilogue, which, just to cover it real quick, Rosechu is like, let's take naked pictures for feminism, for women, right? Like, cause let's all get naked and take pictures. And this is where Simone La Rosechu is introduced. This is the character that Chris stole from somebody, and it's Simone Sonichu or something like that, is a takeoff from this anime Gurren Lagann, which is a character in it is named Simone. He's a dude who digs and everything. Chris gets confused from Simone, and you see how it has red eyes?
Yeah.
Simone Sonichu had glasses, like goggles, that were red, and Chris mistook them as red eyes. And the other thing is that she has like a tortoise shell And that's because Chris misunderstood a cape on the other guys that he stole as like a shell. So he steals this, but also fucks it all up. So this is like the first introduction of Simona Rosachu. She gets killed because people fuck with Chris so much about like you stole this. You blatantly stole this. So this is the character that dies, and then like its daughter shows up. It's like, nope, I'm the daughter, so I'm different. It's
like, no, you're not.
So the only thing that like is really a note here that people talk about is an electric type shows up that's like a Zeppina Rosachu, and she's only 14, and she wants to help with the photo shoot, and she's like, I just turned 14 years cute. And they're like, no, you can't help because of, quote, you're too young. And and I don't know, child with the dumb laws. And everyone takes this as like, oh, like Chris is saying this 14-year-old should be able to get naked. But what Chris meant is like child labor laws. Like, you can't help because you're 14 and like you can't work legally. But like, because it's Chris and he works at everything terribly, it definitely makes it seem like this 14-year-old wants to take naked pictures with everybody. So they have all the crystals at the end, and not all of them. They have 4 crystals. They're still missing 3, and they are gonna get everybody back soon.
Yeah.
So
and
after they epilogue, yeah, Penny Chan's there.
Yeah, that's my favorite character
because it's so wholesome.
It is. It's only in a comic full of hentai. Yeah. At least there's a wholesome dog character.
So at the end, we get a real word from Sonichu and Rosachu, and I just want to read this all because it's so fucking good.
Okay.
Hey, loyal readers, Sonichu and I wish to take a moment to discuss our sexual acts portrayed here today. Please understand that we are legally consenting adults at ages greater than 18 years, and when he and I are alone, we sometimes take enjoyment in warming each other up in our 69 position. While it is good for us, it may not be right for you or your trusted opposite gender partner. We, Christian Weston Chandler, and everyone of this hand-drawn series fully support safe sex and the properties of condoms during vaginal penile intercourse. Also, in addition, while we also fully support sexual education in every high school, Christian Weston Chandler also highly recommends that you would gladly support dating education classes. Because while sex ed is great for the eventual well-earned intercourse after 3 or more dates, this is a thing Chris is like held, like he thinks you fuck after 3 dates no matter what. Like...
Like it's a rule?
It's a rule, yeah. He said it's vital to learn what to do before that moment. It should be a well-taught how to approach and ask one's member of the opposite gender out for the very first date. Our generation and future generations are at risk. Thank you for all of your support.
Man, all this gender talk's going to catch up to Chris soon.
Right? Chris has actually talked about that, where he's just like, man, I was fucking wrong with all that. Like... It's like, yeah, Chris fully admits, like, oh, I wish I could go back. Like, there's a part in a later Sonichu comic, once he starts doing them again, where Christine meets Chris in the past and beats the shit out of him.
No.
For, like, being a piece of shit. Like,
oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's that.
Yeah. And then we have, like, a knot hole. It's a joke. It's like Log. Get it? It's like Log from Ren and Stimpy. There is Log down in the corner. There's Log.
Yeah. Because, reappropriating shit that he saw in cartoons in the last 10 years is the basis of everything Chris does. That and hentai. And
to close this issue out is Spring Break 2008. You see right here that all of the Sonichus and Rosechus are 18. That is very important now. They've all turned at least 18. And you also find out that Blake and Bubbles Rosechu have like a secret little thing going on, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's got to fuck somebody in this. This is how this works. From here on out.
You gotta have it. Yep.
So, like, news is reporting that it's spring break, and, like, newscasters are ripping off their clothes and jumping in pool. I don't know. This is what Chris thinks spring break is.
Spring break 08!
Is it more realistic than the Arrested Development spring break?
That's debatable.
Dude, that's like one of my favorite episodes ever because it has that quote about where Kitty's like trying to take vacation days and he's like, "No, you just took vacation." She's like, "No, that was medical leave for my implants, and now I'm taking vacation." And she's like, "I'm gonna go go to Shooters, get a margarita made in my mouth." And he's like, "You're not gonna get a margarita in your mouth." He's like, "No, Michael, there will be a margarita in my mouth." Fucking phenomenal. God, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch all those. I haven't in like a year.
So Pam has never watched that show really. Like she's seen episodes here and there. So it's on my list of shit that we need to watch. I'm hoping like a couple episodes in, she's not like, I don't like this. And then it's just.
Yeah, no, you gotta explain to her, like, you gotta give it like a good 3 episodes to like pick up.
Yeah, you've got to like dive into that show. It's not like you're going to watch it the first time and be like, oh, I love this. I mean, you might, but you probably won't.
So this whole thing is just a backdrop for everyone to be in bikinis. So that's an anime thing. So I'm not giving Chris too much shit on that. Like that's a giant trope in every anime. There's always this fucking beach episode. And also to give Jigglyami like a spotlight. If you notice here, Blanca Wise has black hair now. That's because this is when the second picture of Blanca Wise came out that looks nothing like the first picture of Blanca Wise.
Yeah.
So Chris drew his second one with the guitar. So this is like what this comic is kind of known for, right? Bubbles is like trying to make an excuse to go fuck. Right?
Yeah.
Chrysalia Rosachu is like evil. And we got a little down at the bottom. The 2 girls on page 49 are Panda Halo and Sarah Jackson, who are 2 trolls. Like he puts them in comics. That's fun. So basically, all you need to know is that she goes to sneak off with Blake Sonichu, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's cute." Well, everybody knows what's going on, right? So you find out that Chrysalia, I think it's Chrysalia Rosachu, it's the evil Rosachu, turns into Bubbles and shape shifts into Bubbles and fucking attacks Blake Sonichu. Okay? So
this is all like I just want to say that this has became even harder to follow than it was before because there are just characters coming out of nowhere all the time.
Yeah, like this one you find out I think it's Chrysalia, but either way, this Rosachu is a hermaphrodite, so she could turn into like Rosachus and Sonichus.
I'm also a big fan. On page 53, there is the piece of art that was contributed by Panda Halo.
Yeah.
That might be a better drawing than any drawing of Sonichu that Chris has
for sure is. Oh, say it's Sylvania Rosachu. She's made by Count Graduan, right?
Okay.
She was born alone on the Earth's moon, has both sets of genitalia, can shapeshift. That's really all you need to know. So, fucking turns into Bubbles, attacks Blake while they're fucking. Poisons him with her vagina. That's what she does. And then teleports him away. So we go from there to awful dialogue between Punchy Sonichu and Wild Sonichu, where they're just talking about how cute all the Rosachus are. So Jigglyami goes to go into it's their dressing room, but there's a star on it that says closet. And she opens it, and Blake Sonichu falls out. Magic-chan figures out what's going on and warns Ed Bubbles, that's not Blake. That's not Blake. That's that I don't know what's going on, but that's not Blake. Don't do this. And she is basically shut the fuck up, Magic-chan. I want to fuck. So this all-knowing, all-powerful omniscient being is don't do this. And she is no, I heard you. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna go. I need to fuck right now. So yeah, same thing happens to her. Sylvania and her getting in a fight, but she fights him off and saves Blake, and they love each other. And Jigglyami sings a fucking song.
Yeah, a whole ass song. The lyrics written by Blanca Weiss.
So here we go. At the end is fucking fantastic. because this is when Chris had like a love triangle type deal going on between like Blanca Wise, Panda Halo, and Sarah Jackson, and is literally, this is like his real life, right? This isn't in the comics. This is just a thing that's happening to him for real. So yeah. So you find out after the concert, Blanca found her boyfriend and left for their home state of Kentucky. Giuliani stayed in Quickville to record her albums in accordance with Jive Records through Quickville Studios. This happens because, like, over on this page, you find out that Chris found out that Blanca Weiss is a troll, but he still wants to use Giuliani in his comics. So, yeah, Chris is like, also I'd like to take this moment to remember Sonichu fan Mr. Ryan Cash, who committed suicide. We're going to get to that at the end of the comics. I'm gonna, because that's gonna lead into.
Okay.
So Chris is basically like, in real life, he's like, I had 3 girls figuring out like that I wanted, and I couldn't figure it out. So luckily, I found out one was a troll, and one died because she got hit by a truck. So God figured it out for me.
Yeah.
She's dead. That helped. And he realizes, that he loves Sarah Cassandra McKenzie, Panda Halo.
He's also apparently a Troll 2 fan.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, Trolls. And then it's the backwards too. That's good stuff.
Yeah, Troll 2 is not like Trolls, right? You know what Trolls do.
Yes. Okay. I know about Troll 2.
You don't know about movies often, so
I'm aware of this one because it's such a meme, though.
Well, yeah, that would make sense.
What's the quote from it? It's like that guy that can't act is like, they ate him, and they're gonna eat me too. No!
It's been a long time since I've seen Troll 2.
I think I would love it.
I think you would love it. I am not the biggest fan of that movie, but
Is it not even fun bad for you? It's just bad.
It was fun bad like the 2 or 3 times I saw it years ago.
Yeah.
I just think now it would probably, I mean, there's a lot of shit like that. Like, the joke's funny a couple times, but then eventually it's, the joke.
Yeah.
And it's not so funny anymore. I don't know. This is the first time I'm doing anything high.
Hey!
My mom died.
It'll help.
Yeah. This comic's rough.
Yeah, Sonichu issue 9.
Picking back up where we left off.
Yeah, let's do a little inside baseball. These comics are so bad that this is the first episode we've ever had to take a break from.
Took a little breather.
Come back to.
Took a little breather.
Man, these suck. After this, though, we only have one more for, like, years.
Which is nice. But it's also, like, 100 pages. Like, Chris doesn't do work, but when he does, boy, he puts a lot of it in one thing.
Man. It took him a year to complete this. This is technically right. It started right at the end of 2008, so we're going to do it. But it wasn't finished until December of 2009.
Oh, so this cover was drawn. That's like the first thing he did.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That explains why the thing in the bottom corner says through 2009. Huh.
Yeah, it took him a year.
And see, my brain thinking like, somebody who would work like a normal artist. I was like, oh, drawn December 1st, 2008. 2009, it probably came out in January. No.
Nope. So to leave everybody, just so we know, Chris still trapped in the time void. They went to the 4-cent garbage building. There's lots of sex in that last comic.
All kinds of sex.
I believe there might be sex in this one too.
I genuinely don't remember. I read this at this point a few days ago, so I purged that shit right out. I have some notes though.
Okay, do you want to read this whole first page on 100? And it's handwritten.
That was one of my notes, was handwritten notes.
Yeah.
Also, why does this start with page 100?
To be continued in book 10. We're in... What?
Hold on.
What's happening here?
I think this thing is doing us wrong, Ed.
You think?
That's page 10 here, though. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, my God. If we go backwards, it is dating education.
Oh. Okay. So here's page 1.
Okay.
Hold on. April 3rd, 2008? Is this the right thing? Are we looking at the right thing?
I don't think it matters. These comics are terrible.
Okay, we're rolling with this.
Let's go with dating education because it is like so much more interesting than anything else. Because this is like Chris's big idea he's always had is like sex ed gets you ready for sex, but there's no classes on how to get you to get a date to be able to have sex. So you might not even need sex education. So like this is like Chris's brainchild and has been forever, like since he was in high school.
And he's finally made it a reality in 2008.
Yeah, because these things are just fantasy fulfillment for Chris, and they always have been. So of course it's going to have dating education. It's an idea he's fixated on since he was like 17 years old.
Boy, that's a school too.
It is. So basically what we're going to see here is all the Sonichus and Rosechus have to take a class where so where it's like how to properly date and like how to get someone to like you. And it's taught by Miss Jackarass. That's important. Remember this lady, okay?
Okay.
Remember her. She's very, trust me, this is going to pay off later.
Okay. All of this dialogue is handwritten, too.
And do you see the girl down in the middle? That is Chris's sweetheart at the time, Ivy.
Okay.
We will get more into on page 5.
Okay.
So Ivy isn't real. Just like we'll get into Ivy later, but like Ivy is like Chris's biggest sweetheart, and it's probably because like there was never a picture of Ivy that existed. They didn't troll him with somebody else's picture. They just sent like drawings of Ivy. To him, he was like, yes, fuck yes, I love this girl. He made comics especially for her. Maybe I'll try to find one of those to go through at some point, like just when we have downtime.
Okay.
And it's like him rescuing her and being like there's a scene in it where he's like he takes his shirt off and holds it up like a flag and he's shirtless with his arms around her. It's so fucking good.
Like a Fabio romance.
Yeah,
cover?
they go on a date and they drink their fancy dinner is chicken and quick fill orange soda. And then they fuck. Because of course they fuck.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a comic Chris made. At this point, everything fucks.
So this on page 6, this little blue guy is Reginald. He'll never be seen again, I don't think. I think this is it for Reginald.
Does he have a banana stuck in his head?
I don't fucking know. It's like it's based off something for sure because Chris never has an original idea.
Right.
But I don't know what it's supposed to be based off of.
I thought that said salmonella at the top of the page.
It's Simonla.
Okay.
So Layla Flaffy is the new character we have here. She's like a little white dog type deal. And that is Ivy's OC. Ivy removed that one and made it.
Okay.
So Chris meets Ivy in this class. Oh my god. This might be the one where they go on the date. No, you can kind of see it. Okay, so this is going to be a real weird sentence, everybody, if you're not looking at it. So God and Jesus speak to Chris to let him know that Ivy's his true sweetheart. And in the background of the heart, you can see the shirtless Chris pic with like him shirtless with his shirt as a flag.
Yeah. That's amazing. This whole thing is amazing. Jesus' dialogue in this picture is, I'm Jesus, sup.
Sup, yeah. I have summoned you to here because I am answering Christians' prayers. Chris, this is Ivy, your sweetheart to be. And then, like, the dialogue under that, it's like some of it's Chris's, some of it's Ivy, some of it's Jesus, some of it's God, like...
Oh, I didn't know. I thought...
like, while my biological clock is fixed, I know that's a thing what women say, but that is Chris. Because Chris thinks his... Have I never told you about Chris's biological clock?
No.
Chris uses the term biological clock to mean, like, his sleep patterns. And people corrected him on it a million times, but it never sticks. He always refers to his biological clock.
Well, she's getting older now.
True.
So, I mean,
Insert first kiss here. Chris couldn't even bother to draw the first kiss.
No. But he could put new cutouts of himself over another drawing and put it in the middle of this. There's a shadow.
There is a shadow. And then does yours go into issue 9 after that?
Let me see. Right now I'm fixated on Amish Jesus.
He does have a little bowl cut. It is a really
like, if you're ever gonna look for one of these, like in the last episode, the last issue, don't look at that one at all. That one's just full of pervert shit. But this one so far has at least Amish Jesus, which deserves to be looked at.
It's got shirtless anime Chris, too. Yeah, and after God Jesus,
Yeah.
it's Chris, so it's not God and Jesus, it's God Jesus.
Oh, right. But if it's God Jesus, why is there, oh, never mind. So, yeah, my next page is the cover, followed by page 100.
Same. So let's just go with it. This is how it is.
Okay.
All right, so another ad for Chris's Adult Chronicles.
Yeah.
So we come back and Chris gives us exposition that, like, nothing we ever saw. He just is like, hey, this is what happened. Sonichu and Rosechu got married, and now they have kids. His kids are horribly fucking boring. The last issue, part of it is like a Christmas episode, and it's the most mundane fucking Christmas shit. It's like shoveling snow, cooking, opening presents. Like, it's just Christmas. Like, nothing happens. It's fucking awful. So we see, and we're back to dating education. What has happened? I love this. This is such a fucking shit show. So after that, we're back into dating education, where here's like the exam for dating education.
He made a real test with answers.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
About what % of regular girls ditch boys and what % of pretty girls ditch boys? Chris says regular girls will ditch you 73% of the time, and pretty girls will ditch you 98% of the time.
There was an option in your multiple choices for 10 and 100.
It's 100.
100% of pretty girls ditch boys. Which of the following characteristics attract your opposite gender best? Class clown, show off, silent type, none of the above. None of the above is the most attractive, Ed.
It is. In a relationship, if the relationship or crush doesn't work out, you B, move on. Yeah, tell that to fucking Chris. What about Megan? Yeah.
And this just shows that he knows. He knows what the right answer is. Or he took this from like a Cosmo or something.
To keep your girl guy liking you, you should keep clean, Chris. Act normal, Chris. See, show off a skill, Chris. You don't have any skills.
Are you telling me that he doesn't show off a skill when he tells every woman he meets about Sonichu?
No, he doesn't just tell them about Sonichu. He also tells them about the trolls and how mean they are to him. A prostitute hung up on him once because of it. He tried to call and order a prostitute and couldn't help himself. Be like, these goddamn trolls are trying to blah, blah, blah. And they just hung up on him.
Oh, that's the best. I mean, in fairness, the prostitute probably did have better things to do.
They got, like, she dodged a bullet. She really did.
Yeah.
Because the poor prostitute that Chris does have sex with has, like, a Wikipedia page and, like...
Oh.
Do you like this on the next page, this little cool caricature of Chris?
Yeah, who drew that? What's this?
A caricature artist at, like, a fair.
Oh.
He just threw it in there.
That's the most flattering picture of Chris that's ever existed, if that's supposed to be Chris.
It is. They only gave him the one chin, and it's very narrow.
Huge bags under his eyes.
Those are his glasses.
Yup. So yeah, this is definitely the best picture of Chris that's ever existed. There's a page 2 of this fucking exam.
There is.
This doesn't even make sense. What am I reading?
I know. The cool thing about that sentence is, Stacy, you could say that about most pages in this. So,
Oh, this is a guide of what to say to someone?
yeah, how to talk to girls. Now, keep in mind, Chris doesn't know how to talk to girls. So, why is he writing advice on it?
I'm Alex. What are you called?
What are you called?
Oh,
I'm
that's
into anime. My favorite is Puni Puni Pomi, by the way. Kobayashi Pomi is so funny. I don't even know what that fucking means.
And if you don't know what that fucking means, I certainly don't know what that fucking means.
Give insert compliments back. I love your haircut. What's the cologne? Chris, you don't. It's fucking Axe body spray. Stop it. I don't know what it is. You do all kinds of videos about how. This is late. I don't even give a fuck because like this is definitely great. So trolls start fucking with Chris at one point, and they tell him that like Axe body spray is really big in the gay community. And,
shit.
So he makes videos for Axe body spray about how they need to put on their cans for straight men only because in all their commercials it's women that flock to men. Women. So it is not a gay product. So from this we go back into the dating education class, right? Everybody just took that exam. That's what just happened, okay?
Hold on. One more thing on that exam, though.
Yeah. A walk to help with the digestion.
Well, there's that. But item number 7, food is a conversation foundation. Can we go get lunch dinner? Can you buy me something to drink?
So it says here, a gentleman should buy the lady a drink, although I don't drink alcohol or smoke. Chris, you can't. This is a test. You can't. You don't need to put facts about yourself in there. And also, Chris does drink later, and they have him like there's a video of him drinking his first alcoholic beverage, and he got a Long Island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, "How does it taste?" And he's like, "Salty." And they're like, "Salty," and I'm like, "Fuck, I know exactly what he means." Like, I have definitely had Long Islands that have tasted kind of salty before.
You are a Long Island fan.
Yeah, man, more bang for your buck. That's what I say.
Yeah,
why buy 5 different shots when I can pay you to put them all in one glass together?
I mean, I sort of do that too. I just have them put all of the same thing in a glass. and then some ice. But that explains so much about how you get drunk so quick at shows.
Yeah. Because I'm drinking a bunch of liquor.
And that's what they had Chris drink for his first drink.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure that turned out great.
Turned out great. He sang karaoke in Applebee's.
They don't do karaoke at Applebee's.
They did it this one.
Oh, man, I was hoping your answer was no. No, they don't.
Oh, that would have been... No, there was karaoke. But he did sing So Need a Cute Girl.
What?
He sang So Need a Cute Girl. His song. We hear it. It's on your show. What do you mean?
Yeah. He sang his words. He sang the Hedgehog version. Oh.
All right, so everybody takes
How
that.
How is there not video of that?
There is.
There is?
Yes.
Oh, man. How far into it's in the documentary?
Yeah, this is like 2009, I think. There's so much that happens in 2009 that I can do little parts like this and it won't ruin anything.
Okay. That gives me something to watch later.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch up through a little bit.
So everybody takes that, and then you get paired up with a person, right? And you get like an AIM screen name kind of deal.
Yeah.
And you're going to like text with that person. So I don't know, man. Everybody starts like texting with their other significant other, right? And it just, holy shit, it just turns out to be somebody else in that class. How did that work? Ugh.
Damnedest thing.
It's so fucking mundane and stupid. It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, there are whole pages of people just buying sodas and drinking them, and then sitting at computers and messaging each other.
Yeah, and Reginald's mad because he wanted paired up with Flaffy, but Punchy Sonichu is.
But Reginald has a banana stuck in his head, so I think that might be affecting his judgment.
It's fine. Yeah, and on the next page you see Layla give a little wink, right? That's cute. Layla.
It looks like she has a black eye.
It looks like Punchy punched her. All right, and then Reginald cuts a wire so Punchy can't. Blah blah blah. Everyone just gets paired up with somebody. What I want to do is go to page 20 and look at how Chris does a profile shot. So
there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, Simona hooks up with Wild. They go back to his treehouse that he lives in. They probably fuck.
Probably.
Everybody, there's Punchy and Flaffy, and they're on a date. And then Reginald and Angelica. Wow, this is so cute. Everyone can date someone but Chris. Oh no, but here we go. Page 26. Fuck yeah. So everybody's off doing the exact same date. They're all sitting at benches around a pond. They're all doing the same date.
They are.
Except Ivy, who's there by herself and sad. She says, I pray for your safe voyage to me. I will wait for you, as God and Jesus has guided me to.
Which they really were there in the beginning of the book, so...
So, May 6th is the final exam. As you can see, that is a new teacher, because good morning, I am Rita Jakara, Sarah's sister. Sob, sorry. Sis recently passed in an automobile accident with a truck. She's basically like, yeah, but she told me a lot about you guys, so I'll be able to do this exam for you. So what happened here is Sarah Jackson got hit by a truck. His sweetheart, Sarah Jackson, so he had to take her out of the comic, and she's dead now.
Oh.
Yeah. So, that's his old sweetheart. Doesn't need her anymore.
She actually got hit with a truck?
She's never real.
Oh! Man, I'm too high.
Then we see how everybody did. Down there, Clyde Raymond Quash, he got a 65.
Yeah, not good score.
Not failing though, and you're gonna find out later why. That's weird that he didn't fail him. So then here's the final exam, which is just the other exam without the answers underlined.
And Billy fucking Mays.
Exactly. Here we fucking go. So Billy Mays is here, right? Do you want to know why Billy Mays is here?
Yes.
So at one point, trolls fuck with Chris, and they keep telling him that Billy Mays is the mayor of Quickville now. And I forget what it is. We're going to get into it in more detail later. But to have them not do something, he has to yell Billy Mays is the mayor of Quickville. So Billy Mays is in this comic now. Okay, so yeah, we wake up, everyone fucked. They're all in each other's bed. Angelica lives in a church, and she fucked this dude she's not married to in a church.
Yeah. A dude with a banana stuck in his head.
So yeah,
look at that shitty house.
Dude, they all have cool houses except Sonichu, who has this shitty yellow ranch style, because it's fucking terrible. So we get a panty shot from Rosie, which Chris surely jerked off to.
I'm sure.
They're in Sonichu's house, just doing some laundry. So here we go. Sonichu's under distress, and he says, I was just chatting with our fans. Once again, they know they're in a comic. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Well, with the true and honest fans, it was pleasant. A few homosexual fans came in. I speak for Christian and all of us when I say we all feel a little grief with them making their choices. Respect them as equals and let them live peaceful lives. Christian and we all from his creation are all straight unless otherwise noted. We will always appreciate and welcome all good Sonichu Road True fans, straight or homosexual. And then he turned in flames. He's so fucking mad. What really grinds my gears is that the homosexuals have misunderstood parts or all of the comic series heavily wrong. Contrary to their individual perceptions, all of our comics, drawings, and words were never ever meant or anything homosexual whatsoever. We promote being straight, no question or shadow of a doubt. We all in Christian do not appreciate at all being wrongfully mislabeled as homosexual. It really infuriates me. So this happens because in an IRC chat with Chris and his fans, one came in and his name was Gay for Sonichu. And he was telling Chris about how excited he was to talk to him because he's writing his whole thesis about how Sonichu is gay.
Yeah, you told me about that guy.
Yeah, and so this is Chris's response to that. He's like, I got to put it in a comic now because he said it, so it exists, so I have to rewrite it. Like, I have to fix it all, which is like a thing Chris still does to this day. We're like, no, now I have to write a story to fix it. Like,
and I also like the weird dichotomy here where he's like, I think we should respect all homosexuals, and then uses a slur towards them.
Yeah, he's fucking. So, yeah, he's just mad. He smashes a vase because he's so mad that someone would. I, Sonichu, you, Rose our true creator, Christopher, Christian, Ricardo, Weston Chandler, Rutgers, Virginia. We are all straight. And he smashes that vase.
Yeah, he uses a slur against gay people at least twice in here after that speech. 3 times. Oh my God, the line at the end of page 39.
Yeah, it's something Chris has always said. So Chris basically just says, like, before I'd be gay, I would transition to be a woman. Which is the thing he said tons of times. Like, if I was going to be gay, I might as well just be a woman. Yeah, I don't want to repeat it. That's fucking hateful. Like,
yeah.
Which is why, like, I think I said it when we recorded last time, that Chris goes back and is like, kicks the shit out of his former self for being such a piece of shit.
Right. Deservedly.
Yeah. So, there's a big boom, and Sonichu and Rosie have to go save the day. There's Alice and Amber, the mayor's assistant. She was taking over the job as the mayor because Chris is gone. Right.
It's a big job she has to fill.
Definitely, the mayor of Quickville is the most important job, some would say. So they send out their police force, the Power Rangers, and then she presses a button to order extra cheese with spinach.
Yeah, so I think most towns have a Power Rangers squad.
I don't even want to think about Quickville Power Rangers.
Like, you said it a few episodes ago about, like, the current shit that she's doing with all the Twitter stuff and the how it's basically that episode of South Park, right? Like, it's...
Yeah.
The comics are that, too. I mean, it's literally just any pop culture thing that Chris sees. He's like, oh, no, that's mine, too. That's in here.
Yeah. But like, they do that to him.
Oh.
Worst fucking person in the world.
Terrible.
So they fight off jerk cops and, like, everything. It's just, there's a whole fucking onslaught of them coming. And all the Sonichu and Rose Jules fight them off. Fucking sucks. It's boring. There's Decepticons.
There's Transformers from nowhere. Oh, here they are.
They suddenly have Transformers. But Chris suddenly has Transformers, too.
There's a lot of really good bad art on these pages, though.
Oh, it's a masterpiece.
There are scenes, like, the shit on 48 and 49 is so green. Like,
on page 60, Black Sonichu punches, like, a Decepticon, and it says in letters, makes gun do a 180. Instead of, but yeah, Chris, you can see it, you know.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
So yeah, there's Darkbind Sonichu. He's finally back. He'll never be back again, I don't think. The 14-year-old that wanted to help with the naked pictures, Zapina, she's there. Everyone, it's all of the Sonichus. Sylvania's there to help Magichan because, like, they're a thing now, I guess, which I think, but that doesn't make sense because Chris is married to Magichan now. So unless he later, like, retconned it.
I'm sure there's a divorce in there somewhere or something.
So
Sure.
on page 66, Slawil Ryan and Wes Isley, Sonichu or whatever, they show up to fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
Chris is suddenly back. Look, he's in his car. He never got out of the time void. He's just back.
Well, it's because the Transformers brought him.
I guess, but his car transforms into Sonichu, an Autobot.
That looks like Bumblebee with some blue parts.
Yes. Oh, but so does Bumblelumba.
Bumblelumba.
Bumblelumba is just Bumblebee. These are Prowler. I think he just ripped off Transformers.
Blaster, and he gave him a guitar.
So, the fuck happens here? This is fucking. Thank God we don't have to do another one of these for like years.
Like real genuine question.
I fucking hate these comics. Yeah.
Terrible. Page 71.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I understand now.
Okay.
At the top of the page, I didn't understand what that green thing with a ninja in it was, or where it came from, or anything about it. I now understand that it's Sonichu and he has like a thing over him.
Why does he have a cloak?
I don't know.
He just takes it off the next page.
He does.
I don't fucking know. So now we have, all of a sudden on page 74, new Sonichu and Rose Shoes out of nowhere. Chloe Rose Chu is 17, so she can't fuck. And Blaze Bob Sonichu is 18. Both characters originally drawn by Sonichu girl Sarah McKenzie. Yeah, now, okay. So Chris starts talking to this girl, Sarah McKenzie, and she's like, put my characters in the comic. And he's like, yep, got it. And he just fucking does right now.
And they're a couple. They have an apartment. She's 17.
So, so this is... I think
she get
Sarah
a Fanta
McKenzie,
painted from
Sarah
her
McKenzie
parents?
is Panta Halo. That's what it is. I'm piecing this all together. So it's another former Chris Sweetheart drew these and made these. He put them in there, and they find her panda ears on the ground, and they're like, oh no, she must have died off screen. Because she was in the last issue. And then at the bottom, there it is. In memory of Sonichu Rosechu fan Sarah Cassandra McKenzie, who died January 2009 in the Australian brush fires. So, like, basically what happened was they were the Australian brush fires, and the people doing Sarah McKenzie, like Panda Halo, were like, oh my god, this is like the most perfect thing to write her off with. It'd be fucking great. And they were right. It's awesome.
Yeah. So in this one book, he's had to memorialize 2 people already.
Yeah. Sweetheart, keep dying.
Chris is a regular Black Widow.
So they're still fighting these fucking robots.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to fuck up. Decepticons are, they're tough, man.
So at the bottom of page 79, we get another new Sonichu. B.A. Chandler. I.B.A. Chandler. And I'm here to copycatly seize claim of you hedgehogs in this city from absent mayor's domain. This is something I think you already know about. At one point, somebody starts pretending to be Chris.
Yeah.
And they tell Chris that his name is Ian Brandon Anderson because his YouTube name at the time was IBA Chandler. And so this is IBA Chandler Sonichu who's coming to steal Sonichu. But Sonichu just fucking kills him. In 2 pages. Sonichu's just nope. Now he's and now you're dead and now you don't exist anymore and I win.
But the fact that these people got him to draw this shit into the comic is so good.
Yeah.
So when does he figure this out that it's bullshit? How far down the road is it from these pages to him being oh, I wrote that shit in and it wasn't real?
What in context of what?
Time, now? I understand that's
what things aren't real. Because to Chris, this is all real.
Still?
No, there's certain things he knows that Blanca Wise was a troll, but he doesn't know that Blanca Wise is multiple people. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So stuff like that he's figured out. But I think still to this day he thinks that dude was earnestly trying to like pretend to be him and steal his identity and intellectual property. Like, I don't know if he ever figured out that was just a dude fucking with them.
Wow. So he really thinks this girl died in a brush fire still.
He could possibly think she died in a brush fire, yeah.
I like it.
So, the Decepticon, and then there's Robotnik, Giovanni, and Nate Cirque, and they have Rosechu, and Sonichu is very distressed. And then he just gets her back. Like,
yep.
There's
with a basketball.
Yep.
Just a basketball is all it took to. That's it. That's
this
fucking
God.
comic book is terrible, Ed.
Bionic threw the basketball, and that's what hit Giovanni and made the Decepticon drop. Bionic and Darkbind, what's going on with y'all? Well, I was shooting some hoops with my homies at the court on 5th and Charleston when the jerk cops came and interrupted our high fives. So we split up and KO'd some of them with our slam dunking strength. I ended up here at the park where I saw you and Rosechu in trouble, and then I found Darkbind nearby. We teamed up and helped you all out. And then Darkbind doesn't have anything nearly that interesting to say. He's just fighting robots and shit. Fucking.
Yeah, is that like a fucking giant Reptar? What is that on the next page?
That is a Pokemon. That is like a real Pokemon. It's a Nidoking.
Oh.
It looks good because he traced it.
Like the face is actually, it's sort of a poke. I see it now.
Yeah. So they start beating up this Nidoking. Throwing fucking mud in its face. And
yeah.
They fight dirty, dude.
They do.
Sonichu would for sure have pocket sand.
He would absolutely have pocket sand. He's got and Bionic's got globe-trotting magic.
Here's something that like I don't know like if it's genuinely funny or if it's just so fucking stupid. So Bionic hits Nate Cirque right in the fucking stomach with some magic, and on page 90 he pisses and shits himself at the same time.
Does that say Tinkle?
Is this Tinkle and Piffed?
I like that there's like a bowl of turd on the ground, but there's also a string of turd, and then there's another pile of turd off to the side too.
That's him teleporting out. Look, you can kind of see the outline of a person. It's him teleporting out. Oh,
just leave the poop stays. Just he leaves.
And then on page 91, Sylvania is telling Magic Chan, you win this round. Because I guess they were fighting, but they weren't fighting. They were literally right next to each other. Not fighting at all.
No. No. This is a shitty comic. Whoa, page 92 has a lot of work.
Oh my god.
What is going on in the picture?
We got a GoBot there, it looks like.
We do. Like a rabbit GoBot monster.
Oh my god, and then at the bottom, in memory of Sonichu girl Ivy O'Neil, Ivy's dead. They're all dead. I forget how Ivy dies. Oh, I can't wait to when we get into that, so I can yeah, three people in this one comic.
R.I.P. to all the Fate girls.
Oh man, Ivy is the best though. It has like the creepiest Chris video ever. It's so good.
It's my favorite because it's just a drawing.
Yeah, it was never a real person. It was just drawings of a person. So Sonichu meets up with Slaw Wheel Ryan at the Quickville Shopping Center, and they get in more of a fight, even though the fight's Rosechu goes to save him.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm having a real hard time following what's going on in this fight.
So they're fighting each other. Count Graduan lives in her staff, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, it's Graduan and Slotwheel Orion fighting Sonichu, and it was Sonichu.
Okay.
So then they just teleport out. It's once again like the Power Ranger trope, where like, I'll get you next time. Like, and then page 98 is they're all just hanging out at the mall. And then in page 99, they save Chris from the time portal, but
But Chris was already riding in and
out of it. He was in the fucking car.
Yeah.
And that's the last page. Thank God.
Yeah, Yes, it won't let me click any further. That's it. But there's 100 pages. He starts doing I know the next one because I read ahead because I wasn't sure how many we were doing. The next one's 100 pages too.
That's the last one though. That's where he writes everything off. Like that is the finale of Sonichu.
Well,
until he gets paid $1,000 to make more comics.
And then sort of delivers.
Yeah, I guess. Chris does this real weird thing now where, like, he releases them pages at a time. And, like, he'll release, like, just the drawing of it. And then he'll release, like, the colored version of it. And it's, like... So, like, every comic is released bit by bit multiple different times.
And speaking of pages and days for Chris...
Let me go. Let me get to it. All right. It has been 28 days since Chris made up a new escapist fantasy to cope with reality. 582 days since the dimensional merge was to be completed. A coping mechanism Chris believes will rescue him from his debt and other life problems. And 1,015 days since Chris joined the Cult of the Idea Guys, which further fuels escapist fantasies. But also... It has been 72 days since Chris last begged for money in the middle of a pandemic. That is actually really good.
That's way better than I would have thought it would be. 307
days since Chris last uploaded his pages to meet his paid obligations to the Sonichu comic. So almost a year without a new page. And 3,967 days since Chris last applied for a job.
The streak is alive.
So, yeah, that's... So the last thing, I guess, to talk about, because it starts in 2008 and carries over into 2009, would be, do you remember in the last comic before this how it was in memory of Sonichu fan Ryan Cash, who committed suicide?
Yeah.
So this kid, Ryan Cash, giant Sonichu fan, just kept asking Chris to, like, can you get the comics out faster? We've been waiting forever. Can you get them out? I love these comics. They're the only thing, like, keeping me from depression. And Chris didn't get a comic out in time, so Ryan Cash killed himself.
Oh, man.
But wait, it gets better. Ryan Cash has an older brother, Clyde. And Clyde, he vows revenge on Chris, the man responsible for his brother's death. That takes up a lot of 2009. Chris now has an arch enemy.
That is where Clyde Cash came from.
Yep. Clyde Cash's brother is dead, and it's all Chris's fault, and he is going to ruin Chris because of this.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
So I guess next episode we'll get into Clyde Cash, and we'll get into my personal favorite saga, the Miyamoto saga, where the president of Nintendo talks to Chris about making a Sonichu game.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear about that.
It's going to be good stuff. A lot of Clyde Cash, though.
I can't wait to hear about Clyde Cash. That's going to be so good.
We never have to do a comic again. I'm so excited.
Oh,
man. We have one more, and then it's gone forever. We won't have to do a comic for, almost 20 episodes, probably.
Well, at the rate we're going, that's like 3 years.
Yeah,
We're not the most consistent podcast.
I like it. It just shows up in people's feeds. There's no
rhyme or reason, no day. It's not like, oh, today Superchantastic comes out. It's like, maybe next month?
I'm not going to lie. Those first two comics we covered, but that last one was definitely...
Yeah,
that was worth it. That picked up at the end.
If you made it through the first part of this episode, I really appreciate it. Good for you for sticking in there and having faith in us. This thing would turn itself around.
It just sucks because there's no way to talk about Chris without going through these comics. Like, it's fucking impossible.
Right. But it's almost over.
It's almost done. I think we have a couple episodes off and then one more comic.
I really hope Chris does something crazy. It
all gets nuts now. This is when shit, like, goes fucking crazy. This is when, like, Clyde Cash gets an army of trolls to ruin Chris's life.
I can't wait.
Everybody can't see it. I'm doing air quotes. Ruin Chris's life. I mean, one of them is fucked up, but, like, for the most part, it's just little shit like, I don't know, the Miyamoto saga.
I mean, hasn't Chris kind of ruined Chris's life?
But I'd say Barb and fucking Bob ruined Chris's life.